Picture this. A woman in her 50s leaves a surgeon's office with a stack of consent forms and a knot in her stomach. The surgeon seemed certain, fast talk, confident recommendations, but there was almost no discussion of alternatives, no clear picture of risks, and the word must was used twice. She went home and couldn't sleep. 2 weeks and 1 different specialist later, she left with a less invasive plan and her life back on track. The relief? Huge. And that relief saved her from a surgery she didn't actually need right then.
I'm Jess, a family nurse practitioner and legal nurse consultant. And before we get into the how-to, let me tell you about that patient who felt something didn't add up. Today, I want to give you a practical, step-by-step guide. We'll cover when a second opinion matters, exact words you can use, how to grab the right records and imaging, what to ask your insurer, and how to decide when 2 experts disagree.
So when should you actually bother? Not every test or prescription, but if the choice is major or irreversible, surgery, removing an organ, lifelong medications with big side effects, treat it like a red flag. If the clinician uses absolute language like you must without laying out alternatives, pause. If the diagnosis feels rushed or your symptoms don't fit the explanation, that's another reason to get another view. And don't ignore your gut. If you leave thinking, that didn't sit right, listen, gut feelings aren't a substitute for facts, but they are a useful trigger to collect more evidence. Here's one sentence I want you to remember and use as your guiding principle. Remember, prioritize preserving options. Choose the path that avoids irreversible harm and leaves you room to change course. How to ask. Simple scripts that keep things polite and firm. Try this. I really appreciate your recommendation. I'd like to get another professional opinion before moving forward. Can you help me with a referral or send my records to a specialist? That shows respect and gives the clinician a clear next step. If you want to be more direct, before I proceed, I want a second opinion. Will you arrange a referral and send my records? Short and hard to argue with. If you hit resistance, we don't do second opinions here. Say this. I understand. This is important to me for my safety and peace of mind. Please tell me how I can get my records or a referral so I can see another specialist. I know, awkward, but necessary. When you call medical records or scheduling, use this exact script. Hi, I'd like a copy of my medical records, including notes, lab reports, and imaging from the last 12 months. Can you tell me the fastest way to get them and whether I can download them online or need to sign a release? That gets you the answer fast and in writing. For imaging, be explicit. Please send the DICOM files or the CD, not just the radiology report, because the actual images matter when another specialist reviews the case. Pictures tell a different story than one sentence in a report. Keep a short chronology in a single page. Date symptoms started, key tests with dates, treatments tried, and current medications. Label a folder or digital file with the diagnosis and date. When you hand that to the second clinician, they read it in 60 seconds and get to the decision faster. Insurance questions are normal. Ask your insurer. Do I need pre-authorization for a second opinion? Will the consult be treated as in-network? How long does authorization usually take? If they give a time frame, write it down. You can hold the clinic to that expectation. If cost is a barrier, look for telehealth second opinion programs, academic medical center consults, or nonprofit patient advocacy services. Many specialties offer lower cost review consults that are very useful for decision-making. When you compare opinions, ask each clinician the same set of questions so you're actually comparing answers. Start with, what about the diagnosis are you certain of, and what are you unsure about? What are the realistic benefits and risks of this treatment? Are there reasonable alternatives? If we wait, what changes? Curious. Another useful question. How would you advise a family member in my situation?
That forces answers into human terms, not just technical jargon. I'll repeat the core through line here because it matters when opinions diverge. Remember, prioritize preserving options. Choose the path that avoids irreversible harm and leaves you room to change course. Analysis paralysis is real. When two opinions differ, it can feel like standing between two cliffs, dizzying. So instead of picking sides, ask which option preserves future choices and which one closes doors permanently. Often the safer choice is the one that keeps the bridge intact. Practical obstacles pop up, delays, costs, and worrying about offending your current clinician. Workarounds. Request a written summary to share. Ask for a delayed decision if it's safe. Use telehealth consults to cut time and travel. And frame your request like this. I value your opinion, and I want to be sure I fully understand all options. A second opinion will help me decide. Most clinicians respect that.
Quick disclaimer. This episode is educational. It's not personal medical advice. Use these tools to guide conversations with your own clinicians, and for urgent or complex conditions, reach out directly to your care team. 3 concrete steps to use right now. 1. If a recommended treatment is major or irreversible, pause and ask for a second opinion. Use the scripts we practiced. 2. Gather a 1-page chronology of symptoms, tests, and treatments and bring that to the second clinician. 3. Ask every clinician the same core questions about certainty, alternatives, and timelines so you can compare answers directly. And one last reminder. Prioritize preserving options. Avoid choices that permanently close doors until you're sure. You have the right to understand and to take time. Asking for another opinion isn't rude. It's responsible. It protects your body, your future, and your peace of mind. Thank you for listening. If today's episode helped clarify how to approach a second opinion or gave you a phrase to use in a tense moment, that's exactly why this podcast exists. I'm Jess, a family nurse practitioner and legal nurse consultant. You can learn more or schedule a consultation at faqbynursejess.consulting.com. If you found this episode valuable, please share it, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps this education reach the people who need it most. Until next time, stay informed, stay compassionate, and always put safety first.